In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Montblanc StarWalker Doué fountain pen. I'll go over the specs, I'll do a writing sample, and I'll tell you what I like and don't like about this pen coming up. Blake here with Blake's Broadcast. On this channel, I review fountain pens, paper, and ink, and as always, I put links in the show notes in the description below. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps out my channel. Alright, let's get on with the review. This is the Montblanc StarWalker Doué fountain pen. It's called the StarWalker because of this floating Montblanc star. It's just kind of sitting on this translucent blue dome. And then it's called the Doué because it's a dual material, or at least that's my guess. They don't explicitly say that, but it's this platinum coated metal cap and the black resin. The standard version has a black resin cap, and then of course they do a version that is all platinum coated metal. I liked this version visually the best out of all of them. The StarWalker line has not necessarily been a favorite of mine. I actually think that most of them are on the uglier side. This is sort of their version 2.0. It's the first major redesign that I've noticed since that line was launched. They made the cap less bulbous. They kind of made the clip more angular, and they made this dome blue instead of it being clear. So you kind of lose a bit of that floating star effect that the original had, but I think this looks really nice actually. Now let's walk through the pen. So again, I talked about this finial here with this clear dome and then a blue translucent dome with the Montblanc star sitting on it. Montblanc says this is reminiscent of the Earth merging above the lunar horizon. Montblanc loves marketing their stuff, and that's included in the price of their products. It's a very cool looking finial. I don't think I have a pen that has a cooler finial than this, so someone spent a lot of time thinking and designing this. I do really like it. So then going down from the finial, we have these kind of horizontal lines, and then it says Montblanc, and it's sort of a blasted matte finish on the inside of this sort of ring up here, and then the Montblanc and these lines are sort of a high gloss, like a chrome. Very nice. Montblanc is very good at manufacturing, and you see a lot of their manufacturing prowess right up here. It's quite nice. So then we have this clip here which sort of jets out, and you have this bump which rides to the top of the clip and stops about a third of the way down. And then you can see we have this point here. I don't think it's spring-loaded, but it's got a good tension to it. It feels very solid. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but underneath it says metal and made in Germany. And then on the other side of the clip, you can see a serial number that's etched into the side of the clip. And this is, the platinum. They call it platinum coated metal. I don't know what's underneath here, but it's a platinum coating. And then down here you can see we have all these decorative rings, and then this here you can see a threading on here. Now this pen has a single thread. The benefit of that is that it can only be screwed on one way, so the clip always ends up in line with the nib, which I think is really nice because I know personally from having other threaded barrels, it can be hard to get the clip aligned in the right place, and sometimes when you're holding it, the clip can be like touching your hand down here, and it's just not very comfortable. So with this, I do really like that they did that single thread so that everything stays in line. It's a very nice detail. So then we have this resin body, which is more tapered down at the bottom and then kind of comes out a bit towards the end. It's a very subtle flare, but it does come out towards the end. And then again, we have that single thread, and then we have this ribbed platinum metal grip section. There is a step down. I do not find that the step down gets in the way at all, and it's a very comfortable grip section. I like the metal grip section on this pen. I usually prefer metal grip sections when they have a bit of texture. It just gets less slippery as you write with the pen. Making our way down to the nib, we have a relatively plain nib. We have the Montblanc star right below the breather hole. Then we see AU 585 for 14 karat gold, and I believe it's STOD is some kind of hallmark. I'm not really sure what that means. If you know, let me know in the comment section. Now, and then it says Montblanc at the bottom. It's an interesting nib. I believe this is the same nib that they use on the, and I'm blanking on the name of it. Do they call it the Model M? It's the Mark Newsom designed Montblanc pen. I believe that has the same nib as this. Now, the feed on this pen is really interesting, and I don't actually know the story behind it, but it's very interesting. You know, the nib comes down to a point here, and then from that point, the feed kind of bulges out and down. It's a very interesting shape, and I would love to know more about it. I'm sure it's plastic. It looks like a shiny plastic, but very interesting feed design. And this is a medium nib, and it's not marked anywhere the nib, what it is, which is kind of typical for a Montblanc pen, but it is a medium. And then if I unscrew the section here, it's a cartridge converter pen, and I say cartridge converter, but Montblanc does not sell this pen with a converter, and they do not sell a converter that fits this pen. It takes standard international cartridges, like this Caran d'Ache Cosmic Black one that I'm using here, but Montblanc doesn't sell a standard international converter. So you can just buy, you know, a $5 one on Amazon or use one from one of your other pens, which is what I do. I don't know why Montblanc doesn't sell one, but they sell this as only a cartridge pen, but it does fit the standard international converters that I have. So let's do some measurements. Capped, we're looking at roughly 135 millimeters. Uncapped, we're looking at 123 millimeters. And posted, we're looking at about 147 millimeters. I would say this is similar in size to their Classique pen. Just as a comparison, this is it with a vanishing point. So just a very standard size pen, not big, not small. Now the grip section does not have any taper to it. It's all straight, so there's no taper here. Looking at 9.6, it's a good size, comfortable grip section. Not fat, but very comfortable. Capped, we're looking at 33.66 grams. Uncapped, 14.43 grams. And that's with a pretty full cartridge in it. So without the cap on it, it's quite a light pen. I don't think this feels cheap, but it's definitely on the lighter side. But when you add the cap to it, it becomes, I think it has a weighty feel to it. And it is top heavy. I mean, almost half the weight is in that cap there. So depending on where you hold the pen and how big your hand is, it might feel too cap heavy or top heavy for you. I've found it comfortable. I've been able to write quite a long period of time with this pen, but I could see people finding it too top heavy. Let's do the writing sample. This is the Montblanc StarWalker. I think they capitalized this. Doué? I think that's right. And this is an M, and this is Caran d'Ache Cosmic Black. Okay. Try fast writing. Oh. Well, it's not liking those figure eights. Let's try some reverse writing. Pretty scratchy. Ugh, yeah. It does it, but it's really scratchy. I wouldn't recommend it. This nib isn't super flexible. It's pretty, well, it's not flexible is what I should say. It's pretty much a nail. You can get a touch of variation, but not a lot, and I wouldn't push on it too much. I'm surprised that it skipped. You know, in normal writing, it doesn't skip on me, but you know, putting it through this test, it unfortunately did. So that is the writing sample for the Montblanc StarWalker. So what are my pros and cons for the Montblanc StarWalker Doué fountain pen? The biggest pro for me is definitely the looks. This is a very unique looking, very modern looking pen. There's no other pen that I can think of that this could be mistaken for. I really like this blue kind of dome and the floating star. Very cool design. Somebody spent a lot of time thinking about that. I also like that it's a very good writer, very good performer. I like the single threaded barrel so that when you screw the cap on, the clip is always in line with the nib. I think that is a very nice detail. I like the ribbed grip section, very nice to touch. In terms of cons, well, it's a Montblanc, so it's very expensive. $650 is the retail price for this. The other con is that it does not come with a converter, and Montblanc does not sell a converter. It takes standard international cartridges, and I have found that the standard international converter also fits this pen. The other con would definitely be that this platinum coated metal is a fingerprint magnet, so if you're worried about fingerprints, that could be an issue. The cap also makes this pen slightly top heavy. I don't find it to be too much of a problem, but there is a noticeable weight at the end of the pen when it is posted. So those are my pros and cons. Do you guys have this pen? Do you like this pen? Let me know in the comment section below, and if you like this video, please hit that like button, and if you want to see more fountain pen, paper, and ink videos, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much, and until next time.